One of the biggest challenges in any relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a family, is dealing with differences in values. You know, those core beliefs or things that really matters to us. Sometimes those values match up perfectly, but a lot of times they don't. And that can cause tension, confusion, or even push people apart. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker. Hello everyone, welcome back to Intimacy Insights by Anais. If you're new here, welcome aboard. My name is Anais, and today I want to break down how you can navigate differences in values in your relationships like a pro, keeping your connection strong and maybe even grow closer because of it. First up, let's talk about what values actually are. They are the deep beliefs and priorities that shape how we see the world and how we make decisions. Things like honesty, family, religion, success, kindness, or freedom. They are often invisible, but they are super powerful in how they guide us. So imagine you value honesty above all, and your partner thinks protecting feeling is more important, even if it means bending the truth sometimes. Boom, that's a conflict alert. It feels like a clash, right? The first step is to recognize your own values. Before you try to understand someone else, get clear on what your own values are. This sounds very simple, but believe me, most people don't stop to think about it. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what matters most to me in this life? What principles do I refuse to compromise? What kind of person do I want to be? Knowing this gives you a solid foundation. When you know your own why, it is easier to explain yourself calmly instead of getting defensive or angry with your partner. The second step is understand their values. Really understand them. This is where the magic begins. Instead of assuming their values are wrong or weird, just get curious. Ask questions like, why is this important to you? How did you come up to feel this way? Or how did you come to feel this way? What experiences shaped this value for you? Try to listen to them without judging or interrupting them. When you genuinely listen, you might find out that their value comes from a place you can relate to, even if you don't fully agree with them. For instance, your friend might value independence because they grew up having to rely on themselves and not their parents. That's very different from you valuing community because you grew up surrounded by your family. Both come from deep places and both are very, very valid. The third step is that you find the overlap. Even when it feels like your values don't line up, there is almost always some common ground. Maybe you both care about kindness, but you show it differently. Or you both want security, but one person seeks it through money and the other seeks it through relationships. Look for those shared values and lean into them. This creates a bridge between the both of you. A reminder that the both of you are not enemies, but are teammates, even if the rules of the game aren't the same. The fourth step is accept differences without trying to change them. This one is very, very tough. We naturally want people to think and act like us, but true respect means allowing the other person to hold different values without pressure to change. Remember, values are deeply personal. Trying to change someone's core belief usually have a way of backfiring and creating distance. Instead, say something like, I see how important this is to you, even if it's different from what I believe in. You can disagree and still deeply care. That is what is called maturity. The fifth step is you communicate honestly and calmly. When differences in values cause tension, the worst thing is to shut down or explode. Instead, practice calm, honest communication. Use the I statement. For example, I feel hurt when you dismiss my need for honesty because it's really important to me. This way, you share your feelings without blaming. It invites the other person to understand rather than to defend his or herself. Also, be willing to hear their feelings too. It's a two-way street. I don't know if you understand that. The sixth step is boundaries. Sometimes values are so different that they will impact your well-being or your ability to keep the relationship very healthy. In those cases, boundaries are keys. For example, if you value financial responsibility and your partner spends wildly, you might need to set clear limits on joint expenses. Boundaries aren't about controlling others. No, they are about protecting yourself and your needs in the relationship. The seventh step is you compromise where you can without sacrificing who you are. Compromise is a relationship superhero. It doesn't mean giving up your values, but finding a middle ground. Let's say you and your partner have different beliefs. You might agree to celebrate certain holidays together or respect each other's ritual without trying to convert or judge the other person. Small compromises like this shows respect and flexibility, which keeps relationships very strong. The eighth step is celebrate growth and learning differences in values can be a chance to learn and grow. They push us to expand our thinking, questions assumption, and become more open. Maybe your friend's value of adventure inspires you to try new things. Maybe your partner's focus on tradition teaches you the importance of roots and history. When you celebrate these growths, you transform differences from a threat into an opportunity. The ninth step is that you know when it's okay to walk away. Sometimes, despite all the effort, values are just too different. Maybe you want kids and your partner doesn't. Maybe you value honesty and they value secrecy. It's okay to acknowledge that not all differences can be bridged. Walking away doesn't mean failure. It means you respect yourself enough to choose what's right for you. Now, let's do a quick recap of everything we've talked today so that you can know your own values clearly. Listen to and understand others' value with curiosity. Find shared ground to build connection. Accept differences without trying to change them. Communicate honestly and calmly. Set boundaries to protect yourself. Compromise when possible, but don't lose yourself in the relationship. Celebrate the growth that differences brings. Recognize when it's okay to part ways or walk away. So before I wrap up today's discussion, here is a little secret I want to share with you. Nobody is 100% consistent with their values all the time. We are human. Sometimes we mess up, sometimes we grow, and sometimes we even surprise ourselves. So when you are navigating differences in your values, give yourself and others a little grace. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about connection, respect, and love. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you found this video very helpful, I want you to hit that like button, share with someone who you think might need it, and subscribe to Intimacy Inside by Anais for more real talks about intimacy and relationships. And hey, drop a comment below about a time you had to navigate differences in value and how you handled it. I want to hear your stories. If you can't drop it in the comment, you can always send to my email intimacyinsights@gmail.com. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep growing your heart. Peace and love. Bye bye.